47 years and counting. Or the adventure-ready Ford Bronco Sport with GOAT modes to help you conquer the great outdoors. And the always electrifying Ford Mustang Mach-E with 0 to 60 thrills and 0 emissions. It's the Ford Memorial Day Sell-a-thon. That means choices, whether it's gas, hybrid, or all-electric. Now's the best time to get behind the wheel of your brand new Ford truck or SUV and drive it home today. But hurry, these offers absolutely end May 28th. So go to your California Ford dealer today. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
It's time for the True Sports Card Show, the only one-hour radio show that gives you the very latest in sports memorabilia news from around the world. Here are your hosts, industry expert Imran Pilati and Sacktown Sports 49ers insider Emil Fragoso.
Good morning, everybody. It's Imran Pilati coming to you live from the KHTK Sacktown Sports 1140 studios for the True Sports Card Show. If you're joining us on YouTube, you can see not only do we have Emil here, he's back. We also have Big Shep, Tim Shepler. We also have Nate Littlefield behind the window. Our whole crew is here. And if you're watching right now on YouTube, you can see there's another kid joining us too. Beckett Pilati is right here. My son is on my lap. He is here. Beckett, can you say hello? Say hi.
Hello. There we go. Radio debut.
Can you say mama?
No.
But this is the kind of dead air that people love here at True Sports Card Show. Guys, welcome back. Emil, good to see both of you. It's been one heck of a weekend. Yep. Why don't you, Shep, as I handle Beckett here, if you could just take over and talk about this upcoming or this past weekend, and the Emil story too.
Oh yeah, I'm finally recovered and had enough sleep. I don't know about you guys, but it didn't hit me until about Tuesday afternoon that I needed to get some rest. I was showing you guys before. My steps on my iPhone or my watch went nuts over this last weekend at the show. It was outstanding. Tons of folks came out, and I want to appreciate everybody that did come and support the show and see all the autograph guests. There's some great stories. And I got to hit the first one is, we have all these big names coming out. Saturday was really busy and trying to transport players from point A to point B, make sure they were picked up at the hotel, the airport, getting to the signing on time, and so they can meet the fans. And all morning on Saturday, Emil was like, hey, Shep, if you need help, let me know. I'm here. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying the card show. But if you need somebody, let me know. Cool. Put it back in my brain, running around in the afternoon. All of a sudden, I get this urgent message. We need somebody to go pick up Dennis Rodman at his hotel right now. Like, we have to get him over here in the next, half hour. All the cars are out. Yep. All my drivers are busy that I had planned because this was an impromptu emergency pickup. So I'm walking down trying to figure this out. My brain's going a million miles a minute.
You were originally going to go.
I told everyone, you know what? Let me just suck it up. I'm going to run over there, grab him. It's going to be half an hour. I'll be gone.
Nope.
Going to go pick him up, be back. Glad that wasn't the case because it was a little bit longer than that. But out of the corner of my eye, I see Emil just bopping around the show with his case, doing his thing.
A little Zion case full of cards.
Hey, you seen this 10-10-10 I have? It's great. And I say, Emil, come here. And I go, hey, I need you to go pick up Dennis Rodman here. And I hand him my car keys. I said, I'm going to text you the address. And Emil's like, okay, all right, let's go. And I'm going to leave it there because I know yesterday I'm gonna have Emil finish the story, but I know yesterday Imran said you were driving with both hands at 10 and 2, 5 miles below the speed limit, safe and sane driving. Give us the back. What was that like when? So I walk up to you and say, hey, here, go get Rodman. Here's some keys. I'm going to send you an address.
Well, the stammering and stuttering was me processing the request you just asked because it was very nonchalant of, hey, I need you to do me a favor. I go, what's up? He goes, I need you to go pick up Dennis Rodman from his hotel. And in my brain, I needed to go to Sacramento right now to go get an athlete because I thought everyone was staying in Sacramento. That was not the case. There were a couple that were more local nearby. Thankfully, it was one of the local nearby ones. And I just kind of processed. I was like, okay. Yeah, let's do this. Let's just do this. Let's make this happen. And so Shep gave me his keys. I got in the back, talked with the handler, got the address, got the information, took Shep's car, and then went over there. And it was just a whirlwind experience. It happened so fast, and it wasn't the most exciting drive, I'll be honest with you.
Did he talk to you?
He did, but he wasn't. He was.
Hey, kid, make a left. I want some Starbucks.
No, it wasn't that. It was the first thing that he said when he came up. I could tell he was a little bit flustered. He, obviously the situation was, a little bit different because it was an emergency pickup. So he wasn't expecting me. The drivers kept changing and stuff. And so I more so just kind of want to make sure, okay, Mr. Rodman, Mr. Dennis, just want to make sure you get safety there and stuff. And so that's why I just kind of played it easy. But no, it was a fun experience and one that I will never forget. For sure. Absolutely. I will never forget that experience. And Shep, thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. And on top of that, one of my best friends, Matt, he's usually been our driver, but for other circumstances this year, he wasn't able to help us out with that. But was at the show Saturday, and I said, hey, there was a time where Johnny Manziel needed a ride, and he was cool because he was like, man, I got my own Uber, I'm gonna take care of myself. But he couldn't get one in time for where he needed to go and needed a ride. So I said, okay, he's doing his thing in the back. I said, Johnny, give me the address. I'll get you a ride. I'll want to get the guys back here for you in a few. I get it, and I go see Matt, who's a humongous Ohio State fan,
yes.
Huge college football fan. And I would say he probably prefers college over the NFL.
Okay.
And so I go, hey, Matt, I know you're not going to drive, but I need an emergency ride right now. I said, I need somebody to go out to Mather to take Johnny Manziel. And he's like, yep. Okay. And he's like, I'm glad I cleaned my truck out today. And so so the funny thing is they get in the truck and they leave. And then Johnny goes, hey, can we stop and get some McDonald's? And Matt's like, yeah, heck yeah, we could go get some McDonald's. So they went and had lunch at McDonald's. Hung out, and he goes, he was the coolest guy. They took the ride out. He goes, it was like talking to one of the guys. He goes, I felt like I'd known him for years, and he was just one of my buddies I hadn't seen in a while. And they just talked sports and had a good time. And he said it was just those little experiences, I think, too, like just make it even that more special for our team, but also the fact that all these big names came into town. We saw Ricky Henderson and Dennis Rodman, and we had, Malik came out. We had Vlad Guerrero Sr., Randy Johnson, the big Hurt King. I mean, Dave Stewart. There are all these humongous names out here all weekend long. But Emron was up there emceeing the ticket line and making all the announcements. And, I know there was a lot of pressure on Emron. And we could feel in the last, when Malik finished signing, that Emron let out, went through the whole building.
The smile you had at trade night, I could just tell that
I was wiped.
It looked like you just had you'd been, backed up, and you finally were able to relieve. I
had some X-Lax.
Yeah, and you were able to feel better.
And
But so you're up there. There were a ton of big lines. When Rodman went up there, I felt like the entire show shoved their way up to the front, and there's photos, people taking photos. It was a mob scene up there for a second. But who had the biggest draw at the show?
No doubt, 100% Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
I think I've never met a person before that was as close to a cartoon character in real life as possible.
Oh,
yeah. He was
the glasses,
it was just weird. He had new piercings on his face.
Yeah, the tattoo,
the bedazzle. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna fast forward for a second. Shep actually did pick him up to take to the airport the next morning at 6 a.m. It looked like he had some stuff bedazzled to his face.
He did.
He did. So we thought maybe it was just kind of glue on jewels. But when you picked him up the next morning,
they were still there.
They're still there.
Yep.
So they were piercings.
Yeah.
And then also, did you say that you saw him without sunglasses?
Yeah, he wasn't. When I picked him up on Sunday morning at 6 a.m., which I was waiting. Like I said, I got there a little before 6. I go, I'm going to be here an hour. And no, he came down a few minutes after I got there and was friendly, ready to go. I mean, I was half asleep, and I could tell he was probably half asleep as well. We got to the airport, and he was super friendly. We shook hands. We said bye. And then I was watching him walk in, and there's just a handful of people that early at the Sac Airport. Mm-hmm. But they all instantly, as they were going across the crosswalk, did the point and say, I saw him looking, and they looked at me, and I'm just like laughing. I'm like, I just shook my head like, yeah, you're right. And I drove away, and, it's interesting to interact. Everybody wants to be famous.
Until you're famous.
Until you're famous, or until you see. I don't think I could live that life. And all these guys, I have a whole brand new respect for how they interact with the public after this, and seeing what they go through, and just a very small, and like these guys are past their super part of fame. Like Rodman's on the back end of his fame, but he's still very famous. But it's not like it was when he was on those Bulls teams, or even those Pistons
when he was
teams.
Dressing as a bride.
Yeah, and he was dating Madonna and Carmen Electra.
You could
and
say
Pam
that
Anderson.
he was like one of the top 25 most well-known people in the world at
in
the
the
time.
Yes.
90s.
Yeah.
Like I told my mom that I was picking up Dennis Rodman. She was like, Dennis Rodman, like she doesn't even do sports, but she knows who Dennis Rodman is.
Yeah.
Just because that's the magnitude, the pop culture figure that he is.
So the largest line was for Rodman,
Mhm.
and it was I think he had almost as many photo op purchases as autographs.
Yeah.
Just the opportunity to take a picture with Rodman's big. And for those of you checking in here at the True Sports Card Show here on Sacktown Sports 1140, my son Beckett is here on the ground. I think he's going to fall asleep. He's playing with a golf ball, and he's going to go down here in just a second. So live
Live
Saturday
nap time.
morning at 10 a.m. here in Sacramento. My son is about to take a nap. I can see him right now. So yeah, the Rodman thing, Johnny Manziel was a close second. A lot of people love Johnny. As you had mentioned that Matt, our friend Matt, was very excited. People loved him.
Mhm.
And it's interesting with Johnny. He turns it on right when the cameras are on, and he doesn't go into "I'm not nice." He just goes into like regular dude that's just hanging out and eating some beef jerky.
Yeah. And then he goes Johnny Football.
Yeah, then it turns into Johnny Football when the
Yeah.
camera turns on.
It's like me. I'm just regular guy, big shep, and then the lights and the cameras turn on, and then
And then
it's
you
all,
get hot and
"What's up?"
sweaty.
I get all hot, and then I make my own gravy.
So yeah, we had that. You had a couple of notes here. I don't know who wants to ask them. I'll be happy to answer them.
I want to ask a question
Yeah, go.
actually. And I know you talked about it yesterday with the Drive guys, in terms of Johnny and other autographs of intrigue. What was the most interesting autograph that you saw, or item that you saw autographed?
One that people have discussed many times is Randy Johnson's bird photo. It's not really a photo. It was a clip of a video clip of a preseason.
Yeah, it was a spring training game where he was with Seattle, and a bird flew as he was throwing a pitch, and they met at the right time for, I guess, the wrong time for the bird, and the bird then.
It had to have been like a 1 in a quadrillion.
Yes.
type
Oh, yeah.
scenario.
And-
And so the bird explodes.
And it's a terrible photo, unfortunately, because of it's a screenshot, a clip of but it was a 16 by 20.
Yeah. So everybody always asks about the bird. Now, how random is that you have to answer, him as Randy Johnson has to answer 30 years later talking about a bird that got smashed by a baseball. So I would think that he would not want to sign that. So we're all connected via radio. I'm at the front. I'm calling people up. I'm just doing traffic control. And the guy goes, I brought 2 items. I'm paid for one to be signed. Would Randy Johnson sign it? So I communicate to the back where Randy's in the back. And I said, hey, can somebody check if Randy Johnson will sign this photo? And I tell the guy, get ready. He's going to say no. I get back the message. He goes, you won't believe it. Randy will sign it. The guy was over the moon about it. So Randy signed it.
There's probably,
Wow.
and this is just an estimate, I would say a few tens of those photos probably signed in the world because he just doesn't do it. And it's understandable because it's a weird thing that you don't want to be proud of
destroying
an animal
Yeah.
live on TV.
Yeah.
Purely an accident, but it's just one of those things. It's kind of like, I could see why he'd be a little hinky about it.
It's haunting.
Yeah. He also, did you see what our friend brought from
Nodders?
their last dive bar?
Nodders?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rob.
Yeah.
He brought up, it's as realistic as it can look. He did a bobblehead probably maybe 5 times the size of a regular bobblehead.
It was about the size of Emmerich. Full life size.
We're gonna edit him out of employment. So it was a great time. We had a blast. And you're right. There was just something about that day in particular that had me on pins and needles the entire day. And literally as Malik was getting out of the building and I said goodbye to him, like an entire weight was lifted off my shoulders.
It was superstar after superstar after superstar,
kept going.
and it just kept building. I mean, we let off with Frank Thomas, which it should have been Ricky Henderson, the greatest leadoff.
Yeah, that would have been good.
But and then we ended with Malik Monk, and then all the guys in between. So just imagine that, and the pressure of making sure everybody had a great experience, that the athletes had a great experience, that kind of thing. It was just one of those, we could feel it, and it was.
Yeah.
It was, but overall, watching all the people, I just love watching the people go up and all the experiences. And Ricky didn't go Ricky on everybody.
No,
and
he was so friendly.
He was awesome. And not that I heard anything bad or which way or the other, but just knowing his persona, what preceded him, and he came in, it was wonderful to see. I think that it gives a great opportunity these names to come out here. And a lot of people are like, yeah, I'd have to travel to one of the big shows in Cleveland or Chicago to meet these guys. And the fact that they came here to Sacramento to hang out with was really great. I want to know
The other autograph that mattered was not all autographs matter.
Careful.
Yeah. So I wanted to say that the guy that had set an appointment for Sunday to get a tattoo memorialized on his arm had Johnny Manziel sign on his arm his autograph, and then he had added the Heisman Trophy logo.
Yeah.
That was all done. Johnny signed his arm on Saturday. He went and got it tattooed on Sunday. I got the photo of it.
Yep.
It's on our Instagram.
Yeah.
Follow us on True Sports Cards. True Sports Cards is our Instagram. Be sure to follow us. And we have the before and after of that.
Yeah, and Johnny even wrote 1 of 1 on there.
1 of 1.
Which was
Nice.
cool. And it's all tatted. It looks great. And just like seeing that kind of stuff and watch the players get excited because Randy with that giant bobblehead knew it was coming because it had been shared to him on social media. And he said, hey, I need one of these. So it sounds like he's going to get one of those large bobbleheads
I hope he does.
sent to him as well.
He
So
should.
yeah, it was just phenomenal. Your takeaways were, because you're kind of in the middle, you're helping us out, you're getting to see behind the scenes a little bit too, but you're also there experiencing the show. What was it like from a showgoer experience for you?
Awesome. Excellent. It was one of my
Well, I paid to say that. So.
no, this is
You have-
Unpaid
you have
testimony.
money?
there is no back door here. I'll be completely honest with you right there. There's no back door, nothing, no promises or anything. I had a phenomenal time. It was one of my favorite card shows I have been to, quite honestly. Because not only was it an autograph expo, it was a card show on top of that with how many vendors were there?
Over
Oh,
90.
there was 50-ish vendors, 90-ish tables.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to put on that kind of event alongside the autograph stuff is phenomenal. And everyone I even talked to had an incredible time. The traffic that was there on a Friday, was phenomenal. And then on Saturday, of course, biggest day, I estimate close to 2,000 people were in that building at some point.
I think that's what the door had. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, Sunday was fun as well, but for the staff a little bit in the morning because it was a little bit of a slow start, waking up a little slow Sunday morning, which was I think it was good for all of us, but it kind of felt like the last day of school, right?
It did.
We had all this lead up and all this, and Saturday was the big finals pressure day, and then Sunday kind of was like, hey, we can relax. We had Tom Rathman and John Taylor out there.
Yep.
Michael Cooper came out his first Hall of Fame signing, and those guys were phenomenal with the crowd.
Can I share a small JT story?
Yeah.
From Saturday, from Sunday, because I'm just hanging out back there with Mike Douglas. Shout out to Mike Douglas, great work as well, doing a great job helping out. But we're just sitting there back there chatting, talking with John Taylor, Mike Coops back there. You're just chopping it up like one of the guys. John Taylor, at 62 years old, jumped over the fold-out table that he was signing autographs on.
Yeah.
You heard me. Jumped over it and then said, watch this, and did it again.
Yeah. So I go, hey JT, we got to go out front and sign. He's like, okay. And instead of walking around the table, he just hops over it. I'm like, okay, he's this old guy. And then he comes back after we're done doing the public, and he had to finish up in the back, and he hopped over it again. I said, now you're just showing off. He goes, watch. And he did a bunch of more times, and I'm like, okay.
Oh my God. I
just walked away. I'm like, okay, dude.
I looked at John. I was like, dude, you could be at OTAs this week.
Yeah. He's like, well, I didn't get my bike ride in this morning, so I have to get my exercise in somehow.
That's
he
awesome.
still looked like he could play, and he was hilarious to the fans, and it's such a good time. And then Coop was trying to make everybody give him a high five, and he just kept going higher and higher and higher, so they couldn't. And it was teasing
Coop
people.
was great.
Yeah, and he was a tremendous guest as well.
Yeah.
Emmer, next year, what do you have in plan for next year? Okay, if you could have, let me ask you this. If you could have one autograph guest, now you're not promising anything, but if you personally could say, hey, this is one guy I would love to have at a show because he's my guy, I would love to bring him to Sacramento.
Yeah.
Who's that one guy you'd want to bring, no matter
Chris
what?
Webber.
Chris Webber?
Chris Webber would be my guy, but I do believe on initial discussions for 2025, I'm lining up some of the names that are already Fanatics exclusives. He's always doing a signing somewhere, but something about bringing Joe Montana to Sacramento would be big. Jerry Rice would be big. You're about to say who?
You should have a heart attack over there.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's time to make Sacramento a real hub for autograph guests. I want to be the person that does that. My goal for us, Shep and I have talked about it. I'm going to share what I can share right now. We're looking at a venue right now that's about 5 times the size of what we just did. I'd like to be somewhere around 50 autograph guests or so. And I think it's a reality. I think we're going to get Shep is looking at me.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
family, was nice knowing you. I'm going to be working 24 hours a day every day.
Would the 50 autograph guests be over a weekend, or would it be spread out through a week? Because that's a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely it's going to be that. And we're going to end up doing multiple at the same time. So what's got to happen is if we do 50 autograph guests, part of it is making sure that we respect the pocketbook of our customers. And I know that we really stretched the wallets this time around. When you have guys that I think every single one of the major Saturday guests, with the exception of Malik, were in excess of $100.
Right out,
around $100. Malik was the least expensive, I think, at 59. Dave Stewart was around 59 too, and he was an up cost from the year prior. But just so that way you know, when I have to go through Fanatics or somebody else that's exclusive, the fees are significantly higher.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if I go directly with the athlete or their agency, every layer of how many people I have to go through between me, Emran, and the actual athlete adds more cost and complexity to the mix. So if I'm working with the player direct, I'm able to cut those costs down and pass it along to the customers. So just because we have 50 people in the room doesn't mean that I can sit there and go, yeah, I got 50 guests and they're all $100 a piece minimum. And that doesn't feel great for me.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got to have some low cost ones. And as an example, we just had Kevin Mitchell at $20 a piece, and he did 100 people in that autograph line.
He cooked.
And on top of the stories and the stuff that he provided, and when I got to say when I met him when he came in, he was awesome, and he still had the gold tooth, and I laughed. I was like, heck yeah, because when I was a kid, when I first moved to California, it was in '90, and the Giants had just been in the World Series. He had just won the MVP, caught that barehanded ball right at that catch. We all pretended to be Kevin Mitchell at some point, where we took the gum wrapper. They used to have foil on the gum wrappers, and we put it on our tooth.
Yeah.
Even though it was a silver color, we pretended we were Mitchell. And
I ate a lot of candy when I was young.
Yeah.
So I had all the silver teeth capped up my cavities. Adam Witten in the YouTube chat says, bring Walt Williams. We had Walt 2 years ago, last year. What a great dude. That guy was great. Yeah. And just to let you know, he is an affordable option. So we'll bring back the Wizard.
You know who I want?
You want Lionel Simmons?
Lionel Simmons, baby. Yeah. The other one, too, I'd like that's local.
What is Lionel Simmons doing with his life right now? I'll Google that one.
Yeah. The other one, too, and I always just like to put little worms in Imran's ear, real or fake. Brad Miller.
Oh, Brad would be
He was one of my favorite Kings, and that man loves some Sacramento. He's still here.
He's still here.
Yeah. Emil, did you have a big pickup of the show that you enjoyed?
Card-wise, you mean?
Yeah. Besides picking up Dennis Rodman.
Because that was the biggest pickup of all. That was the big pickup. No, the biggest pickup card-wise for me, and that, again, we talked about Sunday, how it was kind of last day of school vibes.
Yeah.
For buyers and sellers, people who in the card, that's where we clean out the deals. The deals happen on the last day.
Well, yeah, because the dealers most of them were fat and happy from Friday and Saturday.
Correct.
So they're like, you know what? I've done great this weekend. Let's make some deals. Let's get some of this inventory out. Or it was maybe a few like, hey, God, you know what? I need to catch up a little bit. Let's do some work.
Yep. A
lot of things happen on Sunday.
Let me share you this story from Sunday. And this is how I got to this card. Because I showed you the Keegan Murray. This is the story I'm going to tell you. So because I had walked into that show because I was so busy during the week getting stuff ready for Friday with the Drive guys, I didn't have time to go to the bank. I didn't have time to get cash to have money on me for this show. So I was like, you know what? I spent a lot of money as it is. I'm just going to go in the show and see what happens. So I walked in with like $100 at most. Eventually, through the weekend, just selling small cards, I was able to work my way up to about $250 or so. At one point, I was walking by a table talking to, I forget their name of the company, but Hank and his son.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hank and Son.
Hank and Son. Thank you.
There you go.
Hank and Son. Shout out Hank and Son. Love them. I'm talking to them, right? I'm showing them these cards I have for trade, potentially looking for, because they had the Keegan. And I go, I have this Jalen Green Gold Gem Mint 10 that I graded myself, pulled myself, all this stuff. And they go, well, we're not interested in it, but we do know a super collector in the building, a Rocket super collector that you could potentially. And I go, who? And they pointed out. So I go for this guy, great guy named Evan, awesome guy, made a deal, got him a great PC card for his pickup. So I was able to accumulate enough funds to be able to pick up the Keegan. So I went back to Hank and was like, okay, I have the funds now. Let's make this deal. So I was able to pick up a very nice Keegan Murray die cut Future Kings on-card auto, Gem Mint 10, Pop 2 in the world. Those die cuts are impossible, Gem Mint as it is. wonderful PC card. So that was my big pickup in my story on how I got there, was just working slowly to get to the number.
And that's sometimes the best way to do is go through and just say, hey, it's kind of like a little bit of a challenge you put to yourself to be able to do that. And it's great to see. I don't think Emran had any time to go look around and pick up anything because Pete and Donovan were out spending all the money.
Man.
And Jake, they were buying left and right. We left with suitcases full of cards.
Oh, I know.
I brought some of my favorite pickup in. I don't know if you guys want to partake, but yesterday I opened one of these with Robbie, 1987 Topps Whack Pack. Nate, I have one in here for you too, but this is the first year I collected. There's gum in here. It's the brown bordered stuff. But yesterday, my son Robbie and he wanted to open a pack before school, so we opened it, and he goes, "Dad, I want to chew the gum." And so we did. Now the gum still smells and tastes like
Do not eat the gum, Nate.
In 1987. But the problem is that as we were chewing it, it started to foam.
Yeah.
That's not supposed to happen.
Does your son have rabies?
Yes.
No, he's chewing 1987 gum.
So we spit it out. He goes, "Dad, that was gross." And I said, "I told you it would be." But in here, Bo Jackson, Will Clark, Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire, Barry Larkin, all kinds of good rookies in this.
This is cool.
This is the best stuff. And so what's great is on the back, you're gonna have the nice little wax stain on the back card.
Oh, we're doing this now.
Yeah, and then you get a gum stain.
Are you eating the gum?
Let's do it.
It's really
Nate, remember the interview last week that we did with Jamie and we talked about 87 Topps
Yeah,
and
you
how it's
talked
my,
to you just like
This-
the nostalgia of ripping.
this is it.
This
Yeah,
is the set.
it.
Look at the gum.
And I'm sitting here with my
Beckett
son
stole
Beckett,
it.
and he's
Stuck
about
to
to
the
open this.
stuck to it. Look at that.
This is crazy, Shep. You're making dreams happen.
Right?
This is the set that I collected with my dad
Yeah.
before he passed.
Yeah.
And now I'm sitting here on a radio show with my. I'm gonna get emotional. man.
Yeah. So we'll talk about our
I can
dads
see
because
tears in your eyes.
And I'm
Because-
sitting here holding my son named Beckett, opening an 87 Topps pack.
Yeah.
Man, you're making it happen.
Well, yeah,
Appreciate
and so this is the same. This is how my dad got this. My dad used these cards, these packs, to bribe me to go to baseball practice when I was 6 or 7 years old. To every practice afterwards, we'd go and get a pack of cards and open them and go through them. And when my son Robbie was born, I made a little collage made out of 87 Topps. One, because it's so plentiful. There's tons of it out there. I think
Yeah.
it's still making it, or it's
it.
reproducing on
Printed
its
right now.
yeah, it's being reproduced on its own. But it's a great set. It reminds me of being a kid. Emil, you weren't there in 87, but if you smell
Wasn't
this,
even a thought.
this is what card shops smelled like in 1987. Old cardboard,
Smell-
and that gummy,
Smells
that's
vintage.
yeah, that's what it smelled like back then, and just a lot of fun to go through and open. And you know what? As we have the show, we'll talk about more what's going to happen next year. It's just it's exciting to see the growth of our show and what it's become. And I want to say thank you to everybody that volunteered and helped us out.
Yes.
Everybody that came out and supported our show, the love we saw across the social media that we've seen, and we appreciate sharing all the videos. Tons of videos are being made right now that are being posted out there that have just give a really good eye of what the show looked like from a dealer's point of view. There's show goers that are putting videos up. It was a lot of fun. Trade night out night was amazing. That Attaway Plaza or Pavilion was awesome. Under the lights came on. There's a little breeze. It was tables. It was so much fun.
Let me do it right now. Shout out Candlestick Card. Shout out Big Brother Card. Shout out Stone Chase the Bag. Shout out Smitty the Vibes. You guys were phenomenal hosts of that trade night. Shout out to all four of you.
Yeah.
Excellent work.
Yeah, and it was so much fun to do that. And as we move on to the future of our show, the NBA playoffs, we're in the conference finals now. We got the Eastern, Western finals. A lot of young talents, a lot of new names in basketball coming up, getting their shine. You would say it's not the same old LeBron and Steph and Durant out there. But as we start to lose these guys, you guys realize that this generation of superstars leaving us. You have LeBron and Curry, Durant, Chris Paul, and Harden. All these guys are going to start to leave, and they're closer to retirement, right? Who do you guys see as the next, quote, face of the NBA? There's a handful of guys vying for it, but in your mind, who is that next young guy that's going to take the league by storm and replace Steph and LeBron? Not that you truly can at this point, but you're going to be there someday because these guys replaced the previous.
Am I picking one person?
I'll give you two. I'll let you have two.
Give me two? Okay.
Yeah.
Am I going first?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. It's Anthony Luka.
And why?
And because of his age, because he's the next American superstar, because of obviously the Jordan comparisons, they're very evident. The Kobe comparisons, the play style is very there, the demeanor, the attitude, the ability to lead his team at such a young age. I mean, he's 22 years old doing it. And then Luka, I think if they advance to the finals, which I believe they will, and if they win the finals, that's Luka's first title. And that means a lot to the legacy of Luka Doncic and what it means for the Dallas Mavericks, what it would mean to him on the European scene. I mean, Giannis has one. If you're going to compare other stars, other faces of the league, Giannis is one of the faces of the league because he has an NBA title.
Yeah.
Devin Booker's not a face because he doesn't have an NBA title. Jokic is a face because he has an NBA title. You need to have that last barrier of winning a title to become a face in the league.
So what happens if Tatum wins it this year?
There can be an argument for it.
Okay. I see Luka. Hey, the guy can fill that stat board up just like James Harden, just like Russell Westbrook. That's easy to say fast. I just see him as a stat filler. But
I see him as a clutch bucket maker.
Okay, Imran, who's your next face of the NBA if you're gonna pick?
Well,
Like,
Emil said something, and then it was kind of I was trying to follow it because you said that you need a title, but then the two guys that you named didn't have titles. But you're saying that they're on the ascension to a title. Is what you meant?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So my guys that I say that are the face, and we're a collectible show. We're a sports card show. So I don't want to roster bait just talking about stuff that was a word I just made up.
Yes.
Great word.
Yeah. So I don't want to do that just to say these are the guys. But if I'm thinking about it from a collectible standpoint, the guys that I would choose right now, if I was collecting to be impactful and actually go up in value, are different than what would be in today's actual like you're gonna pick the Giannis's and the Jokic's of the world if you want to have the best dudes. If we're talking about the actual collectability of it all, it comes down to Ant Edwards, and he's an up and down, but he's a huge swing up and down.
Yep.
Wemby, because they have now 2 draft picks inside the top 10 this upcoming year. They can really play. I think they make a swing at Trae Young. Truly, they could take the top 2 picks and turn them into Trae Young on a weak draft. So you put somebody like Young next to Wemby, it's going to even be more impressive. Luka, of course. I mean, last night alone with his step back and screaming at, is that Beckett?
Yeah, that's Beckett.
Okay, come here, baby.
What's wrong, baby?
So, and then I would probably say the other one to me that I think really has an opportunity to step up is Shai. Shai Gilgeous, and also anybody that's got that dog in them, like I felt like Donovan Mitchell had a chance, but I think his time is now kind of swinging away. I think it's either Tyrese Maxey or Paolo. I think those guys are kind of faces of. Shep is holding my kid right now, and it's like he's done this before. I'm gonna go grab him right now.
No, and my big thing is does collectability influence the face, or does being the face influence the collectability? And
yes.
Which one is it though? Does there?
So you're asking me, does the collectability impact being the face, or does performing at the highest level impact it?
Yes.
I think by stepping up in the playoffs, it matters the most.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think now we're in that ring culture, and what you do in the playoffs means something, right? And wins, and as farther you go, that it's going to help you more with your credibility in collecting. Correct. And also being established. Like you said, Devin Booker, he's a great scorer. But honestly, at this point in time, he's 8 years in?
Yes.
And
no, he's going to year 10.
Okay. So at this point, he hasn't ascended to that. He's a top maybe 20 player, but you don't expect him. That jump for him is not going to happen. I don't think after 10 years in the NBA, you can become all of a sudden now you're the face of the league, right? With all these other young guys.
I love sports cards. I love this radio show. Yeah. I love my audience, but I'm a dad first. So let me walk away for a second.
Take care of him.
We'll take care of it.
Yeah, we got you. But so I just don't think, I think you would have to, he would have had to make that move now. I think, right. Yep. I think you're right and Imran said, like, Joel, I love him. KU rock chalk for life. But again, I think his time's passed a little bit.
Yeah.
Giannis is like the tweener guy between the guys that are leaving in this new crew.
Mm-hmm.
I would say he's kind of the de facto guy in,
yes,
like when LeBron and Steph leave, he'll be the elder statesman, that guy. But these younger guys are chasing him down, and I think this playoff is going to change a lot of collectability for guys, and also the next generation of talent.
And the one thing that's also interesting about this whole thing is that there's more parity in the NBA than we've had in decades.
Yes.
I mean, there's no one true dynasty right now like there was in the 10s where it was LeBron and the Heat, then the Cavs, then it was Steph and the Warriors, and that continued on.
Yep.
Now every year feels different.
And I like it because I think it was neat for a while when you saw the LeBron versus the Warriors. But after a few years, I think the general public was like, okay, something different. And now we have it. And I like seeing these new teams. And guess what? It gives me hope as a Kings fan.
Yes.
But maybe one day if we get like the Pacers, I think they got a little bit lucky, right? Because they played a couple teams that were injured, especially when they played the Bucks. Their two big stars were out. Then they played tough against the Knicks. Brunson gets hurt, and so you see them be able to get that step. And now, like, I know Hallie's got an injury, but he's now getting on that stage with Siakam, and they're getting their love, their flowers. So, I just think that it's going to be very interesting over the next 2 seasons of the NBA, who starts to really emerge. And I don't think we expected Ant to pop this early.
No. Here's the one thing I will say that I think it could be changed very quickly. It can be defined very quickly. The Olympics is this summer.
Yeah. And our team is loaded.
And so is Canada. So is France.
Yes.
Rudy and Gobert are going to be great with the no goaltending rule. They're going to be fantastic.
And just unfair.
It's going to be unfair. Regardless. But again, because we know for face of the NBA, they want them to be Americans.
Yeah.
Obviously, NBA is in America. If Ant leads this team to a gold medal, he is undoubtedly one of the few faces of the NBA right now.
But do you think he can, because Steph and LeBron are going to be on that team? Do you think they're going to default to him, or do you think they're going to try to take over?
I think they'll try to do their thing, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I also think Ant is ballsy enough to say, no, I got this.
Give me the ball.
I got this. Give me the ball.
Yeah.
And I think potentially it's still early.
Yeah.
And Ant's struggling right now in the playoffs because he's exhausted. If he can deliver at the highest level of international basketball in front of his idols, guys he watched growing up, similar to me, because me and Ant are very similar in age, that will signify a changing of the guard.
Yeah. And I think we're there. We're really, really close. Yeah. And I mean, he already has a movie.
Yeah.
Right?
He was fantastic in it.
Yeah. Kermit, what was his name? His name was Kermit. I don't forget his last name, but
Kermit something.
Yeah. So
it was great in Hustle.
Yeah. Hustle's it's a little slow in parts, but it's a really good movie on, I think, Netflix with Adam Sandler and Juan
Juancho.
Yeah, Juancho. He plays Bo Cruz. Just it's a great movie. Check it out. Yeah.
It's one of those creative player names, but whatever.
Yeah, and Kermit, Ant Edwards as Kermit was awesome.
He really is.
Yeah, and so it's just gonna be fun to see. I'm excited for the NBA because I think every 10 to 15 years we go through this, like, okay, the guys, they're starting to age out and we're going to get new guys in. It's just an exciting time, new teams. We're seeing new markets. The league might expand. So I think NBC's going to be coming back with the John Tesh music. Round Ball Rock. That's going to be exciting. A lot of good stuff. Select Basketball.
You want me to just talk about Select Basketball?
Well, it came out to retail. We've also had Optic Football that just dropped.
Yep.
Retail only. So Retail Blasters of Optic Football came out recently, but the hobby product doesn't drop until
June 26th.
Yeah, so over a month from now, almost a month to today.
Did you see Panini's statement?
No.
Panini released a statement. Or not Panini, sorry.
PSA.
PSA released a statement. PSA released a statement because if you have Donruss Optic 2023 football, by some miracle, it's impossible to find. Unless you're at True Sports.
Yes. We sold.
Yes.
We sold the ones.
They sold all of them.
Yeah.
Typically, they're at True Sports. Regardless, PSA had to make a statement saying, hey, we don't have the checklist yet. Because we don't have the checklist, we cannot put your 2023 Donruss Optic cards into our system and grade them.
Yeah.
We either can hold them until we get the checklist, or we will turn them back to you for no funds.
Which I was saying is fun to watch is a product come out and there's no announced checklist, but yet the product's out. So how did you know what cards to make? That's my listen. This is how not the first.
Release the checklist, please. Release the checklist.
Panini's not the only one guilty of this. Other companies like Topps, they've released the checklist days after the product actually came out, or people started building the checklist on their own. I've seen that. That's fun. But no, so like these are two of the biggest products out in retail right now. Mm-hmm. You've been out in the wild buying some stuff. I know you had. We'll talk about what you hit the other day with your Select.
Yep.
But people are like clearing the shelves. Yes. I saw videos, people like going through, and we always do the big arm swipe, and they're at Target or Walmart.
Good meme, yeah.
Yeah. Now Ace Hardware.
I can tell you for a fact that's true.
Yeah, Barnes and Noble, like all
I
these.
saw some at Hobby Lobby.
Yes.
Hobby Lobby's got cards.
Hey, Shep, can I ask you a big favor?
Yes, sir.
I know we're on the air and I'm interrupting your show. Would you like to move into the big chair over there? Oh, man. Can you do me the honor of moving into the big chair?
This is fun. This is great.
I'll let peek behind the curtain. Imran
Oh no.
is working his way out of the show right now. Beckett's a little upset, but we
Yep.
need Shep to step up in our time of need right now.
We
and,
do.
and take over, and I think he's going to do
Big
it.
Shep in the big chair.
Big Shep in the big chair. It's about time.
I love it.
It's about time.
This is living out Shep's dream right
He's
here.
the only guy who can wear his name on his hat, and I'm for it. 100%.
Mhm.
You're on, Shep.
Are we there?
I can hear you.
All right.
Oh
let's
my
do this.
goodness.
What does it feel
I'm
like?
in the big seat now. Everybody watch out. Big Shep is this chair will never be the same. Don't tell Dave though.
No, it will never be the same.
Yeah.
No, don't tell Dave.
Tell them why.
So
Yeah, what's
no,
happening?
we can't. No, but so people are swiping the shelves and loading up.
Yes.
Not a huge fan of it. I know that if you see it out there and you're going to buy it and rip it, enjoy it. A lot of people are buying it to turn and hopefully make a few bucks. But you picked up some select this week.
I did.
How'd you do?
I did pretty well. I somehow hit the Target restock right on time, literally as the ladies wrapping up.
Let me just say this. This is a unique live scenario. Myself and Beckett are exiting stage left. I've got a kid that needs a nap, and my wife is out of town for a girls' retreat. So it's boys' weekend, and that's my responsibility to make sure he goes to bed. So I'm going to be listening on the way home.
Yes.
Don't embarrass us, Shep.
I'll try not to, Wally.
Don't bring shame upon our True Sports family. And me and Beckett are going to go ahead in the car. So
If you guys know the story of Wally Pip, this is what happened.
This is Wally Pip.
couldn't play. Lou Gehrig stepped in and
thank you to all of our True Sports Cards listeners, all 12 of you. And in the meantime, I'll catch you guys on the radio here on the
All
way
right,
home.
enjoy.
Bye, boss man.
We'll get a text notification. Imran pulled off the side of the road.
Eric
and
on
starts
the side of the
yelling at
road
us.
starts yelling at the TV,
Yeah.
the radio.
Yes, he's just yelling at his phone to call us. No, so you went out and
Yes.
hit retail, and I want to say first of all, I know Emil's a responsible adult because he buys what he's gonna consume.
Yes.
So he doesn't take more. It's like the buffet. He doesn't go up and take all the shrimp
No.
fried rice. He takes what he's gonna consume and leaves some for the others.
Take a
But
quarter of the shrimp fried rice because
Right?
I do love shrimp fried rice.
so
And in this situation, I
Yeah.
hit the restock. It was a loaded restock at Target, and I
Yeah.
only go to Target for restock. I don't go to Wally Mart because I don't like them. That's a personal thing. I go to Target solely. I have a Target red card. I know the system, whatever. Regardless, I go to Target, my local Target, and I hit the restock right on time. I just somehow plan it. And I see on the shelf they have Select Basketball. So I buy all the Select Basketball because that's the product that I want to rip. I have not ripped any Select Basketball this year yet.
Yeah.
I wanted to rip. However, there are Mosaic next to it. There's WB Chronicles, NASCAR Prison. There's other stuff there. I did not clean swipe the whole Target.
that's good.
I only grabbed the product I wanted, and I walked out on my mosey way because it's not about cleaning the shelves for other, because I want kids to be collectors. I want kids to be in the hobby. However, in this first come first serve society of how sports cards work at retail, if it's there, it's free game for me to pick up what I need to pick up. I'm not grabbing all of it. I'm
Yeah.
picking up the product that I would like to personally rip. And I did rip it. And I had a great time.
I think you did pretty well.
I had a really great time.
That you had a tall guy you got out of there.
I got a tall guy, I think
Yam,
Wembanyama.
yeah.
Wembanyama. Yeah, Victor Wembanyama. I can't talk
Ooh,
now.
he's
Victor
so
Wembanyama
excited.
premier level, purple flash out of 175. As on top of that, a Brandon Miller of the same exact thing out of 2 of the 5 boxes I opened.
Yeah, and on top of like Bowman Baseball's been out recently.
Bowman
and
Baseball
that's
was
been very
there, yep.
hot. And the thing is that retail, while it doesn't do, you usually don't strike the iron very hot like Emil did in these, but
Yes.
blasters are there to let you get a taste of the product.
Yes.
It's like an appetizer to the entree if you want to open a hobby box to get you a taste
Yes.
of what the product's going to be like. It gives people an affordable version. And my thing is that it really, it's hard. It's a hard place for us to be a shop.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to we have the hobby prop boxes, but some of them, a select hobby box is over $600,
Yeah.
below $7, but over $6.
Well, Select H2 just came out too.
and that's still, a few $100 a box there. But with a blaster, you can go get one for under $40 and enjoy a blaster.
Can.
If you have to buy it from somebody that purchased it, you're looking more around $50 to $60 probably.
Correct.
But we try to provide those options in the shop. We personally don't go out and hunt down retail.
They don't.
We have a lot, But what happens is that people do, and they bring it in and they'll sell it to us, or they trade it for cards that they want because they were lucky enough to find some on the shelf. And they say, hey, listen, I can do a little side hustle. I can trade up to get something better. Or guess what? I can take care of some a bill that came up that I wasn't expecting that popped in my life. And hey, this is a quick way for me to make a few dollars. And then allows us to provide a more affordable option to the customer. We also now too, since Fanatics has taken over, they've opened up a little more retail for hobby shops to be able to purchase.
Yes.
So that's what's really great is that we can buy directly from the manufacturer. We can do that. We can provide the same shelf price that you see at a retailer like a Target or a Walmart.
Correct.
Or now Ace Hardware or Hobby Lobby or wherever.
Barnes and Noble.
It's turning, like I remember when in the 90s, you could find cards anywhere you went. By about 93, they were all over the place.
Yeah.
But those early types of the 90s, and I'm not saying it's going to be like that junk wax era, because now you're getting where the blasters have a guaranteed hit, or they're adding numbered cards to that.
Yes.
This is the first time I've seen Panini put numbered cards in blasters, and I think ever.
Well,
it's
here's the thing. They're on the checklist.
Yes.
It's just you never see them.
Yeah.
Because they make so much of it.
Yeah.
Because it's retail. It's a mass-produced product. The hits are spread out sporadically. I will say, though, I feel like I have cracked a small code. Select 23-24 is better than Select last year. 1,000%.
23-24 is better than 22-23?
Yes.
Okay.
So Wemby rookie year is better than Paulo rookie year.
Okay.
I can just, off the first boxes, I can tell. The videos I've seen, the megas I've heard are smacking.
Yeah.
The videos I've seen. I mean, my goodness. Sure, there will be some dud packs, but for a retail product, you can tell they made some improvements for all that stuff.
And the same too with Meals, and doing basketball. I'm a huge baseball guy, and we've seen some folks open some blasters of Bowman baseball.
Man.
Now, before, getting an auto out of one of those is not great.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a customer come in. They hit a restock, and he just happened to be at a Walmart, and he saw 4 blasters bottom, and it went 3 for 4 in autographs and Bowman blasters.
Bowman blasters are hitting.
We had a guy open a full case of Bowman blasters and hit a Dylan Cruz, who's the number one guy you're chasing in this product, a green Bowman Chrome first auto at a 99
on card.
Yeah, on card in a blaster box. And I think there's 40 boxes in a case, and I think he hit 8 or 9 autos. So that's tremendous value. And I love to see the fact that these retailers or these manufacturers are changing their retail product to have these hits pop up a little more often than before. Because again, it gives those folks the opportunity to be able to get hits, but not have to go chase them down in a hobby box or buy them on the secondary market where those singles are very expensive.
It makes the ordinary consumer collector feel valued.
Yes.
That I'm not going to get screwed over by a Panini because I'm buying a retail product at $30 or $40 and I'm getting, just some base cards or just a random parallel that really doesn't matter. You're actually getting hits that matter to you, numbered cards out of retail, which is all we're asking for. Yeah. We're not asking for the moon. We're asking for just some sort of, we got something back from it.
And so a lot of the, there was a bunch of new product that dropped this week. One of them being, it was weird because a lot of people are confused by it. 2023 Topps Chrome Platinum Anniversary Edition came out. So this is the 1954 design, and it's a Chrome card with current players from the past. You're getting 1 autograph a box. It's really shiny, a lot of color.
I got the stats up too.
Yeah,
I got the stats. So 24 packs per box, 4 cards per pack, 1 auto. I don't do as much baseball. Yeah. I will be honest about that. Shep, why is Topps Chrome Platinum a fun product?
Well, it gets that everybody loves shiny, right?
Yes.
And it's a year delayed, and I don't know why, but it's a full year delayed. So it's last year's rookie class. It's not this current one with Ellie and the guys, but it's still got some nice chase autographs. It gives you a throwback design of what 1954 looked like. Mm-hmm. So people are going to experience a little bit of history while they're opening it.
Yep.
And 2, there's numbered cards falling out of here. There's super fractors. They just pop. There's X fractors. A lot of the color people just are gravitated towards it. Now, it's not my favorite product because it feels like 2 recycled products put together to bring out, but that's me. But other people were loving it. We had a guy consumed 3 boxes yesterday and was happy as pie when he left.
Yeah.
He got an out of 5 rookie. There was a red. He got an on-card autograph of Byron Buxton.
He'd love out of 5.
It's just really, he's like, it was a fun rip. It's under $150 a box and a guaranteed auto, and you get to have some entertainment. And so that's what's bad. Like that's what he was looking for. Hey, I'm looking for a little bit of fun. I don't want to spend a ton of money, and I can do that with this product. That's great. We also had now this is a real quick rip. 23 Panini Clearly Donruss football came out. Now these are acetate cards, so they're see-through.
Yes.
It's the Donruss design, but you can see through them. And you'll
Yep, 4 packs per box, 5 cards per pack, so 20 cards in the whole box.
Yes.
No, not a lot of cards.
no, it's a little tiny square little box
Yeah,
with Micah Parsons on. He barely fits.
It looks like T-Mall.
Yes.
It's not T-Mall.
No.
It's not T-Mall. It's just a clearly, would you say, a variant of Donruss, would you say it is?
Yeah.
A variant. Okay. Box break, 1 auto, 1 insert, 2 parallels, 8 rated rookies, and 8 base cards. So
Yep.
you know the exact layout of what you're going to get, not the cards per se, but what kind of cards you're going to get in the box.
Yeah, and the rated rookies, getting those in the box, and you're trying to hit those quarterbacks. And
Yes.
we had somebody open one the other day. They got a Stetson Bennett on card auto with the Rams. Now,
Ooh.
again, he might not have an NFL career, but again, Georgia fans love him.
Yes.
Won a natty for Georgia.
Yes, he did.
So that's a big deal with collectors.
Mhm.
So, and then we also had Panini Chronicles WWE come out.
Oh,
and you're a
yes.
big WE guy. And we also had the Pokemon Twilight Masquerade drop.
A lot of I'm just going through my notes. There's booster boxes. There's cases. There's bundle boxes. I'm like, oh my goodness, all the variants of just Pokemon. Exciting.
Yes. And
Exciting.
what's cool with that is we got a little gift box, right?
Yes.
So they give us a poster to hang up, which we did. And I love the Pokemon. Now I don't know anything about it, but I know Shiny is good in Pokemon.
Hey, Pikachu.
Yeah. And you have a Charizard, right?
Yeah.
But besides
Blastoid.
Besides that, I don't know a ton about it, but the Shiny's good. But they gave us a bunch of giveaways, pencils and postcards and stickers and
That's
stuff.
cool.
So when you come down and folks are buying these,
Mhm.
and it's funny, it's not just the kids
Yeah.
that are into it, which is great. It's all it's
Mhm.
it's the young, the older guys
It
too.
is.
So and we have giveaways and stuff. We're giving those out to the kids that come in and pick this
Well,
up.
let me ask you, because you are the manager over at the OG True Store.
That's what they tell me.
That's what they say currently.
Well,
We'll see
if
how that
you heard the
goes.
power rankings yesterday,
You were
I
not.
was not included.
You were
It was
not
everybody
included.
but me.
No,
Thanks,
it was-
Emran.
my point being though with this is that you've seen an increase in Pokemon or CCG or even One Piece in
Yes.
the last. I mean, I've seen a plethora of product come to the shop and a plethora of interest in all that stuff. Have you noticed the same thing? And what is it about these products do you think that everyone is so excited about?
I think the big thing is that it's the chase. So there are ultra rare cards and Pokemon and that people are going after. I think that now like the Lorcana came out with Disney. So they didn't have cards for I don't know how long,
Mhm.
but if you've seen like Disney adults, I mean, they're
Oh, yes.
full blown in love with Disney.
Yes.
They're as rabid as Kings fans, if not maybe more.
Oh.
And
You've
so
seen them in the sales for the one of ones, the
Yeah.
Mickey one of one with like $100,000
Yeah,
or
and
something. It was
so-
crazy.
and that's why you're getting a new basic customer that already collects Disney stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And now on top of it, they have cards.
Yeah.
And they want to be the one with, that full set. They want to be
Yes.
the one with that special Mickey. They want to be everything. They want to have everything Disney, and now
Yes.
they have trading cards to be able to do that. So we've seen that. I'm not familiar with One Piece. I know we sell it,
Mm-hmm.
but again, I leave that to the smarter
The
kids.
DJ at the mall, he was over the moon. We had
Yeah.
one. You guys had One Piece.
Yeah, and it's good. We have and then Donovan and Ethan at the OG shop in Rockland
Mhm.
too. They were really happy that we started carrying that. So
Another product that might surprise some people that gets a lot of interest: Star Wars.
yes,
Star
Oh, yeah.
Wars cooks.
Oh yeah, it does. And two is because some of the times, like, unfortunately she's no longer with us, but Carrie Fisher had
Yes.
autographs in there, Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford. So when you get those guys, but you're also getting all the characters from like the Mandalorian, all these
Yes.
shows they've had on Disney Plus that are coming out, and you're getting these autographs. People are chasing them and they're rare. And it's that Star Wars franchise. I feel like Disney just bought up all of our childhood, right?
They did.
And now they're bringing those cards out and they're using those properties and licenses correctly and providing cards out to collectors. So just a lot of
Yeah.
good stuff going on there.
A lot of great stuff going on.
Yeah, definitely. The shop's open today until 6. We're open every day of the week.
Where can you find that shop?
661 Stanford Ranch, Rockland. We're in the Floor and Decor parking lot. You can always find us there. And
3 6s, right?
yes, 3 6s,
6
661
Gotcha.
Stanford Ranch, and also in the Galleria. We're across from Apple. So I always say Apple because that's like the biggest, That's like the Buzzy Light
On
all
the
flies go
Nordstrom
to.
side of the mall.
Yeah,
yes.
the Nordstrom side. We're next to Tiffany's, the old time Bahama.
Yes.
So we have the nice fixtures. We're in the high rent district, as I say, part of town in the mall, because you have Louis and Saint Laurent
Saint Laurent.
over there,
Oh.
and then there's True Sport. Then the sweaty guys over at True Sports.
Yeah.
So we're
And so many
hanging out.
guys at True Sports.
Tons of art over
Yeah.
there. So if you don't know, we have an artist that we have some of his paintings. He actually did one for Rodman, and it's a 101 print.
Oh, I saw that.
And Rodman signed it, and he's got the cheetah hair print in the photo.
yeah.
In the art. It's really great. Lots of framed memes over there. We're reloaded. I told you Pete bought all those cards at the show.
Yeah, man.
We had
John Wick over there.
tons and tons of singles come
Yes.
out, and now they're in the shop, and just great stuff happening here. And as we wrap it up, I want to shout out to Emil for hanging out with me today. Imran Pilati, appreciate you bringing in Beckett. Everybody
Yes.
here hanging out with the True Sports Cards guys on our show. Remember, live here on the airways of Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to
We have
11.
a special guest.
Uh-oh. Hello, special guest. How can I help you
Hey.
today?
Oh,
Yes, sir.
Hey, my
Uh-oh.
name is Imran Pilati. You may have heard me on such shows as True Sports Cards.
Yes.
Listen, guys, I'm driving home. I'm on the 80, and Beckett was awake and fussing, and then Shep started talking about, I think it was clearly football,
Yes.
and then he fell asleep immediately.
Hey,
So,
the docile tones of Big Shep. I've, you just, yeah.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
we will
Imran.
see you
Thank
next week. We appreciate you all.
yep.
yeah, and Shep, if you could be do a big favor as the general manager of the shop, could you get the address right? 6661 Stanford Ranch Circle,
All
not 2 6s.
All right. 661 Stanford Ranch. We'll be back next week. The True Sports Card Show. We will see you then. Have a great one, everyone. Peace out.
De'Aaron Fox plays here.
Stolen by Fox. Breakaway coming up for De'Aaron. And a simple, casual